on guys, Antrod here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Antrod Cooks. Before we get into this episode, let's get fashionable. Ooh! Link in the description for this and this hoodie. All in the description below. Get yourself something nice for this holiday. And I know what everyone's thinking. This is supposed to be in here. There's not enough room. You're right, it's not supposed to be in here. But considering what we're doing today, I figured I was going to need a little bit more counter space, so I put it in here. It can move around though, so it's not going to be stationary right here in the middle of my kitchen. So what we're doing today is we're going to be making some famous Christmas drink. The only Christmas drink that you should be drinking during the holiday season. Eggnog. Okay, so what you're going to need for this recipe. You're gonna need... That's right, this apron comes with pockets. It comes with some pretty deep pockets. Look at that. Most of my arm goes into this one pocket. Eggs. Sugar. Heavy whipping cream. Milk. Nutmeg. Salt. Vanilla extract. Cinnamon. Cooking pot. Various mixing ingredients. And finally, alcohol of your choice. This is optional. And you can do different things, but I chose brandy. Paul Mason Grande Amber Brandy. Let's go ahead and make this thing. One last little tidbit. I know I'm doing that a lot in this video, but if you watch this video, Dad, I'm sure you are, and you're gonna sit there and go, what are you doing? Because this is not your recipe. I don't remember your recipe. I'm doing this on a whim, so I didn't ask for your recipe, and I want to try something different. Let's try, and if it's no good, you can, I'll tell you, and you can sit there and you tell me I told you so in the comments below. We're gonna see how it goes, and you're already probably judging it based off of the ingredients. So, let's do this. The first thing we're going to want to do is take 6 eggs and separate out the egg yolks and the egg whites. Alright, well, that's one egg. Don't do what I did and explode your eggs all over yourself. Try to actually get them in the bowl. Oh god, that's snotty. I'm supposed to separate out the egg yolks. I think I broke the yolk. How the hell am I doing so bad on this recipe already and I haven't even started? Alright, well that's gonna be 1. For the most part, it's 1. Alright. Let's try to do this I forgot, we're not trying to crack the egg. There's 2. This thing refuses to separate from the egg. It's so snotty. God, it looks like someone blew their nose on my bowl. That's so gross. 2. Oh. There's 3. 4. This is number 5. Alright, there's 6. Alright, once you go through the horrendous terror of separating out your eggs, I don't know what we do with the egg whites yet, but I know what we do with this. We need a half a cup of sugar. Make sure you clean your surfaces. It's not my first time playing with eggs. Editor, insert the clip of the last time I played with eggs. Sucky so far. Yeah! We did that twice. Editor, did you make sure to put both moments we played with eggs? It was a fun moment. Second time I think we played with rotten eggs. I'm not even sure. Half a cup of sugar, and you take your whisk, hopefully it's not covered in egg snot, and you whisk until they're light and creamy. See, it's also recommended, the directions don't recommend this, they just say to whisk it, but it's recommended that you do this with a bzzz, editor, translate editor, please. Bzzz, you know, one of the bzzz thingies. But I don't have the money for a bzzz thing. Do me a favor, editor, every time I mention bzzz, just put like a thing on the bottom, or on the bottom of the screen and translate into what bzzz is, okay? You're supposed to do this with the bzzz. It doesn't recommend in the instructions to do what bzzz is. It literally says to just whisk it. It doesn't say how to whisk it. So considering that we're making this video broke, just assume, if you're doing this at home, use a bazizziz. Because I couldn't afford a bazizziz. So this is what we're using for bazizziz. Is my hand and pure strength. It says to do this until it's light and creamy. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm going to assume like this. It's very bright yellow, and I mean it's creamy. It doesn't really even look like egg yolks anymore. If I were to have been told what this was, I wouldn't believe it. It looks like butter, to be honest with you. I know it's not. I would eat this though. I would eat this. I would drink this. I know. I felt the nausea building from my throat when I said that too. If you gagged, you lost the try not to gag challenge. I secretly put that into this video when we started. Just didn't tell you guys. So yeah, if you managed to not gag at that remark, congratulations, you've won a point. Yes, and we were putting a point system into this video. Put a point somewhere, a point marker somewhere on the screen. That's for you guys if you managed to not gag. There's gonna be challenges throughout this video. I'm making this up now, by the way, editor. There's gonna be challenges throughout this video, and I'll mention it when it happens. If you manage to not do something when I mentioned you to not do it after the fact that you possibly doing it, you get a point. So far, to the audience that didn't, gag at that comment, you have a point. Congratulations, you've won a point in the don't gag challenge of this video. There's going to be a lot of those challenges. I don't know how many of them there are because I'm still doing this on a whim, but yeah, it's going to be a fun challenge. I think this is good. Yep, I think that's good right there.
He needs some milk.
Did you gag? If you didn't, enter, put another point on the screen. Alright, now that we have that part mixed up, we're gonna move this way so we have a little bit more room. Take our saucepan, put it on the stove, use the correct burner, and to put it at medium high heat, and while it does its thing, we need to add our ingredients. Dad, again, I know you're gonna probably watch this video, and if you do, you're judging me hardcore. I'm judging this recipe hardcore as well, but it seemed interesting, so we're gonna go with it. I hope he watches this video. He supports his son, doesn't he? Hi, I forgot you're watching. Sorry. Oh shit. Am I the only one that gets scared when I fire on the burner and the burner starts smoking? Am I the only one that sits there and stares at it to make sure it doesn't burst into flames before I start using it? Am I the only one that does that? Like, I can't be the only one. I'm sitting there watching it smoke and I'm like, I don't think that's normal. I mean, I know it's normal, but I can't be the only one who stares at it and going, please don't burst into flames. Because I don't know how to work a fire extinguisher, so if this thing bursts into flames, I'm going to be sitting there with like an idiot smacking it with a towel. Keep your towel handy in case you need to use it. Okay, stop smoking. I think we're good. You're going to want to add 1 cup of whipping cream. Two cups of milk. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. A pinch of salt. Don't do what I did and overflow your palm with salt. It doesn't mention to do this. It mentions to do this after for decoration. I remember my dad doing this, so we're going to do it because I remember that's what he always did it. A half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you want to mix together until it's a nice creamy consistency. You want to make sure it doesn't start to like boil or anything. Just do it till it gets to the point of barely simmering. We got an upgrade, boys. We got a spoon. So I believe it's at the spot that we want it to be. It's just starting to boil. All those flavors melted. It's a nice creamy consistency. From what I understood about the recipe, we want to do from here is we want to add this to our egg mixture. So this is the part of the recipe where it gets very questionable. So we want to add spoonfuls of this onto our eggs. I'm going to switch these out real quick. Supposedly, this little bit of heat is going to basically cook our eggs as they're being mixed so that we're not drinking raw egg. You want to add large spoonfuls at a time and then mix it all together until all the hot milk is added. Okay, so now we're gonna pour this back into this pot here. And we're gonna put this back onto the stove until it thickens up. You wanna do this until it thickens or until it reaches about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think this is going to work. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think this is doing what I don't think this is going to do what the recipe is intending, but I guess we'll find out. Well, it's actually thickening. It's thickening a little bit too much. It's only 81 degrees. Does it need to go higher? Wait. Fahrenheit, there we go. It's good, it's good. I'm fired. Okay, so I almost completely ruined our eggnog. It's supposed to go up to 160, not 180, and it was at 188 for a couple of minutes. So I think I might have just made oatmeal. Hopefully I saved it in time. If not, we'll figure out a way to save it. But now is the part where you add in your vanilla and your alcohol if you're going alcoholic. We need to add in our 4th teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's 1 teaspoon. That would have been freaking horrible. Doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, but I know a little bit of vanilla extract goes a long way. And while it's hot, you mix it in. It smells like eggnog, so I mean, I guess I did something right. And if you're doing what I'm doing and trying to get drunk from this stuff, you want to add your alcohol. Salud. Well, that's good. It is very good. I know my face says otherwise, but it's spicy. It's spicy. It's warm. It's got a good taste. It almost has a sweet taste to it. That's good. You want to do 1/4 of a cup. Mix that all together. It smells amazing. So the next thing you're going to want to do, I should do this over the sink, but for viewing pleasure, we're going to do it right here. Make sure you keep everything clean and tidy. Clean your area. Grab yourself a container and a wired mesh. This is some sketchy stuff right here. This is sketch. And you want to pour your mixture through the strainer. This is sketch. This is sketch. I'm wondering if I should do this through a bowl or a pot. I got an idea. Be right back. Just so that we get a little bit of extra room. We're not going to be blending anything, but I got a blender so that we can do this a little bit faster. This is cool. I've never done this before. Next thing we need to do, cover it in plastic wrap. From there, put it in the fridge. It's going to thicken up as it chills in the fridge. And there we go. Our eggnog is in the fridge. We're going to clean up. I recommend you clean up as it chills. Maybe by the time you're done cleaning up, it'll be done chilling. And you can see what happens after that. I'll see you then. Hey guys. Okay, so I just pulled the eggnog out of the fridge. I think it could probably chill for a little bit longer, but we're definitely going to try it, see how it tastes. It did thicken up a bit while it was in there for sure. Let's go ahead and grab a glass. Alright. It's very thick. I don't like how it's very thick. Very thick. It tastes great. Ooh. We're gonna do some. It's very good. But let's do a little bit to it. We're gonna add a little bit more milk. The recipe called for a little bit of milk to thin it out a little bit more. So we're gonna add a little bit more milk. And we're also gonna add a little bit more vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. It's sweet enough, but it needs a little more spice. So it's already in the blender. It's said to do 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk and then blend it. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of milk. All right, and let's do a teaspoon, roughly a teaspoon of cinnamon, and roughly a teaspoon of nutmeg, and then a dash more of vanilla, just a dash. Top it up. I'm sorry to my neighbors. Oh man, that consistency is much better. Let's mix it just a little bit more. There we go. Oh, that looks a lot better. Let's add that to this. Much thinner. Much better. The recipe says to top it off with some Cool Whip and cinnamon, but I don't want to have to do all that. I just want to be able to put it in my face. So salute. That did it. Oh, that's good. That's eggnog. That's good. Not too sweet. I think I might put a little bit too much cinnamon because it does give you a small spice from the cinnamon, but it gives you a good rich taste from the nutmeg. Ooh. Mm. And the thing is about this too, it's not cooked. Like the spices aren't cooked. I think that might have been the issue, is when I cooked it, some of the spice went away. But the spices, the sweetness is there. It's not too sweet, but it's not too unsweet. It's just good. And the vanilla, oh, that's eggnog. That could use a little bit more brandy, because you can't really taste it that well. I would definitely suggest putting a little bit more brandy in that, but that's good. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here on this episode of Antrod Cooks. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it and filming it. Hope you enjoyed this recipe of eggnog. I put some of the minor tweaks I did in the description below, so if you want to make this at home, you can. I also left the link directly, so you don't have to read off the description. You can go to the link directly. But the recipe in the description below is the recipe that I did, and all the little tweaks and edits I did. I recommend, though, taste it, and then do my little tweaks and edits, because it will be on the very, very bottom of the recipe here in the description. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. You guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, all that good happy stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Without further ado, and right out.